You're listening to the John and Heidi Show. Now, featuring the wit and wisdom of Dan Farris.
Okay, dudes, let's walk this sucker.
On Sunny 93.3.
Sunny 93.3. Time now for the John and Heidi Show bonus hour with Mr. Dan Farris. Hello, Dan. Thanks for joining us.
You betcha. Hear ye. Hear ye. Hear ye.
Like a town crier.
Thank you. It's Town Crier Day.
Is it really?
International. You know, it's funny. I think pretty much everybody's familiar with it because they've seen it in movies and stuff. You know, a guy standing in the middle of the town square, and maybe he's got a scroll or something. When you think about it, this is back in the day where that was the media.
He was the broadcaster.
That was the media. That's how people got their news.
Do you think you would be good at that, Dan? Do you think you'd be good at, like, are you loud enough to, like, cut through the clutter if there's people?
You could do that.
I absolutely. I was going to say, I've had it before.
I couldn't do that.
Where I'm at an event, and like I remember one time their PA system stopped. They couldn't, and they were trying to, the lady was back there going, excuse me, everybody, excuse me.
You're just so loud. You've got this voice.
I don't know why. I'm so loud. I should have been a town crier.
It's pretty interesting because they had the means to actually, do printing and everything else, but
a lot of people couldn't read.
Most of the folks, villagers and everything, were not literate at that time. So I think that's pretty fascinating. So if you run into a town crier today, I don't know,
give them a hug,
console them,
high five,
do something. Go, wow, how do you find work?
They don't. That's why they're crying so much.
There you go. So yeah, pretty big deal there.
Thanks for coming up for air.
Oh.
This is Town Crier Day, and Dan's sad about that, apparently.
Just
Thanks
bummed out.
For listening to the John and Heidi Show bonus hour. We've got Ranger Dan's Critter Corner on the way.
Do you have a credit card? Is it the very best credit card? Many people get their credit card as a response to an offer that was mailed to you. These are typically not the best cards. Check the fine print for the fees and interest. We have a website that compares many different cards being offered so you can find the one that's the best fit for you. If you'd like to find a better credit card, we'd love to help at bettercreditcards.net. There's no obligation. Just click and compare to see if we can get you a better credit card at bettercreditcards.net.
Sunny 93.3. Time now for Ranger Dan's Critter Corner.
Good morning, Ranger Dan.
Good morning, chillins. Little radio rangers, I hope you all had a fine slumber. We have a lot of things to get after.
Oh, okay.
Talking about some of the great state parks in the great state of South Dakota.
Oh, yeah,
That's what we're talking about. It is camping season, it's hiking season, fishing season, all that kind of thing.
It is.
All these things that interest me, which is why I'm a ranger.
Yes, self-proclaimed ranger.
And you're not.
And you are not.
One of the biggest recreational areas, one of the most popular in the great state of South Dakota, of course, is Lewis and Clark.
Oh, yeah.
Recreation area, Lewis and Clark near Yankton, one of the state park system's most popular resort parks. 3 separate campgrounds comprising this modern rec area, attracting visitors from throughout the Midwest. Now, what's interesting to note is it's called Lewis and Clark Lake. That is technically not a lake. That's just a super wide part of the Missouri River.
It is.
It is, but they still say, and it looks like a lake.
Did they put a dam there and they made it a lake then?
Okay, I'm not an engineer. I'm a ranger.
I didn't mean to. Certainly didn't mean to
Throw you
stifle
for a
you there.
loop.
Ranger, air quotes, Ranger Dan.
What that also means is it has all the dangers of the Mighty Mo in there. For instance, shark attacks seem to go up every year, that
Crazy.
kind of thing.
They're crazy.
I
They're
don't
rampant.
think there's ever been a shark attack there, has there?
John.
At least not one that's been reported to the media.
No, I just think,
Woke.
just keep in mind that's actually a river, and the same rules apply.
Okay.
And it's named after Lewis and Clark.
Yeah.
Who, again, and I can't stress this enough, years ago, if they would have just taken I-90, they would have cut that trip by about 90%. Pretty much goes in the same
It's like
darn
they weren't
direction.
thinking. It's insane.
They just weren't. Oh, let's rough it. Hey, there's an interstate right there.
It's like they didn't even have a map. I mean, come on, guys.
And that's Satchakawea.
Yeah.
She wasn't talking.
I saw her on a coin.
Well, I'm Ranger Dan. That's at Cedar Prairie State
Awkward
School.
for some reason. Thanks, Ranger Dan.
Thanks, Ranger Dan.
I'm going to go talk to our attorneys. We appreciate you listening to the John and Heidi Show bonus hour with Ranger Dan on Sunny 93.3.
The inventor of Rip It gloves has been a drywall guy for decades. He was trying to find gloves that worked for him and his crew, but nothing was quite right. So he went out and created some. Rip It gloves fit firm in your hand and protect your hands, but still allow you to use a touchscreen. Professional athletes love the extra grip Rip It gloves gives them. Painters, roofers, contractors, but also motorcycle and horseback riders. See why everyone loves Rip It gloves at ripitgloves.com. Use promo code radio to save 25%. That's RIPIT gloves.com, promo code radio.
Sunny 93.3. Time now for water cooler talk with Mr. Dan Farris.
Yeah, I finally drove by and saw it. Well, because I was downtown.
Oh, yeah.
The Arc of Dreams, which is complete.
I still haven't seen it. I haven't been down there.
We were going to go and check it out the other day, and then we got busy doing something else.
I haven't seen it lit yet.
Oh, you haven't been down there
during the day. But I love when I hear little promotions for it. They go, it's downtown right between 6th and 8th. And you go, you mean 7th? I'm dead serious. That's how they're putting it out there. It's between 6th and 8th. Yeah, it's on 7th.
But there is no 7th going over the river.
But I've watched lots of things on Facebook and whatnot. Not everybody is thrilled with it.
No, I've seen some kind of negativity.
Well, some people don't really have quite the right idea. Some of these people were launching from, gee, doesn't the city, can't they spend their money on something else? This was all private dough.
Funded, yeah.
It was all private dough, and there are various levels of investment for it, and depending on what you gave to this little project, you get your name on a plaque or somewhere by the city, and you go by, and it's the Arc of Dreams. And I guess I dream. I used to dream to be duct taped to Jillian Michaels until that whole thing headed south.
What?
I'm just kind of free balling here, John.
I don't think that's the right term.
Oddly enough, you were in your dream as well. So
that headed south. So it's like, well, maybe I can be duct taped to Kate Beckinsale. I don't know. I just know I'm going to be spending time down there between 6th and 8th a lot.
Here's my concern, and I guess there have already been some people climbing it. It looks very inviting for a climber.
it's pretty dangerous.
And if you were to leap from one side to the other, I wonder if you could get impaled on the end of that thing.
I'm sure you could.
It looks sharp.
Now that you've
in
thrown
the
it out there.
pictures. Well, I'm not saying that anyone should try it. I think it's a bad plan, but
No, it's the perfect tool for the Darwin theory. Let's see what happens.
Exactly. Let them weed themselves out.
I wonder how long it'll take before somebody falls from the Arc of Dreams and gets hurt and then tries to sue. Who would they go after? If it was not city money, would they go after the city?
I don't know. Maybe that's part of their dream, John.
Could be.
Maybe it is. I've got mine. They've got theirs. I've got duct tape. I don't care.
I don't want to know anything more about your dreams, but I do want to move on. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show bonus hour. Coming up, we have our Maverick recruiting. What do we call this thing again? Oh, the Top Gun of the week. I knew there was a name for it. It's on the way. Thanks for listening to Sunny 93.3.
Join us for a fun week in Punta Cana, Dominican Republic for the 3rd annual 80s in the Sand. We've been there the last 2 years. In addition to making a bunch of awesome new friends, we had so much fun meeting 80s actors and musicians. 80s in the Sand takes over the entire resort, so you'll mingle with them at the pools and the restaurants too. We'd love to have you join us. See the amazing lineup featuring Sammy Hagar and many more at radiotravelgroup.com. Save $200 per person for first-time guests at radiotravelgroup.com.
Sunny 93.3, thank you for listening to the Maverick Recruiting Top Gun of the Week. This is where we hand the microphone over to Heidi.
Yes, and I get to pick somebody who's just been absolutely amazing, gone above and beyond in their work and work ethic and everything. They're phenomenal. The guys at Gruntworks. Those are the ones that I am picking this week.
I love that name so much.
I love the name.
And here's the thing that's really cool. Gruntworks, they helped us with a tree, but they do way more than just trees.
Oh yeah, they'll remove
like if you have a fence that needs to be removed or a deck. If you're building something and you need something else removed first, call Gruntworks.
Right, or trees or bushes or whatever. They came to our home. They removed in what, a little over an hour.
Yeah,
not
about
even.
An hour.
Removed a giant pine that we had in the front of our yard, several bushes.
And there was another company that was working on the project for 3 weeks.
Exactly.
And
never showed up.
So.
And these guys, they came when they said they were going to come. They did the work. They got in. They got out. They were amazing.
They were really good dudes.
And I gotta love this the most. They're military men,
Yes.
which I absolutely adore.
One is Marine and the other is in the Army.
So yeah, Kevin and Elliot from Gruntworks, they're my guys this week.
2 winners this
Two
week? Is
this
this the
week.
first, Dan? Have we ever had it where there's more than one?
Yeah, we have.
I
think we have.
Don't know.
I don't know. Maybe not.
I think this is a first.
Yeah, but Gruntworks is a play off the fact that they were military. So
Right.
yeah, it
Right,
works for me.
right.
All ties
yeah,
together.
I love it.
I think it's really
love
cool.
it.
You can find them on Facebook, facebook.com/GruntworksSD. And we're going to make sure that we get them their shirts and their awards. So a big thank you to the folks at Gruntworks. And also a huge thank you to the folks at Maverick Recruiting. They bring us the Maverick Recruiting Top Gun of the Week. If you are looking for awesome people to fill a position, reach out to John at MaverickRecruiting.com. And if you're an awesome person looking for a better position, you can do the same thing. Get a hold of John. He'll help you out. John at MaverickRecruiting.com. Credit cards. They can be trouble. About 12 years ago, we did a debt snowball program and got rid of our credit cards. We were debt-free except for our house. It was awesome. But over the course of the next decade, our credit score went down. That sounds weird, but they need open accounts to give you a score. Our lower score made our insurance rates go up. We decided to get a credit card to help with that. We just pay it off every month. If you want a better credit card, check out bettercreditcards.net. They'll help you compare all the different cards to get the best one for you. That's bettercreditcards.net. Sunny 93.3, time now for entertainment news of the day with Mr. Dan Farris.
Because celebrities are fabulous. This actually dips the tone of the world of athletics, but he's been around so long and he was a big hero of mine. Certainly not anymore, but current Washington Redskins running back Adrian Peterson. He was Minnesota Vikings. That's where he made his real bones, man.
I've heard that name.
Okay.
He was a big deal.
Yeah.
A big deal. When he first busted onto the scene with the Vikes, it was like, oh my goodness.
Does he have a connection to Sioux Falls, too, somehow?
He had a cheeseburger at Little Kalinga down on Indiana Avenue. Oh, that is a true story.
It's
absolutely.
That was his connection to Sioux Falls?
Alrighty.
Well, the problem is one of his children was abused and died in Sioux Falls. He had a child with a young lady here. Yeah, that's why he was here.
Holy cow.
Yeah, well, he's doing life. That kid's doing life now. Killed Adrian's son, yeah.
Holy cow.
Then it comes to light that Adrian has lots of children all over the place with several different women. One thing leads to another. He is still active in the NFL, still running for the Washington Redskins, and still looking pretty good. But he's being sued again for millions of dollars.
For what?
Business loans. Adrian has just defaulted on another multi-million-dollar loan.
Oh, no.
This comes out of the Baltimore Business Journal, which I subscribe to. He's been ordered to pay back roughly $2.4 million after defaulting on a loan from Democracy Capital Corporation out of Montgomery County. He reportedly borrowed $4 million back in 2016, the spring before his last year as a Viking. He takes out money, he gets these giant loans, and he doesn't pay them back.
Oh, no.
It's like it's not a student loan, Adrian.
Right,
pay
no,
them back.
exactly. You gotta
pay those
it.
back, too.
Pay them back, yeah, and with all the money he's made and everything else. But man, oh man, the guy just can't get it together, which is kind of sad.
Unfortunate.
That's too bad.
It's kind of sad for all the talent he's got, and it's, boy, hard to say. This is probably going to be his last year in the NFL. And then what? I don't know. I do not know.
Probably not, hopefully, in business, because it doesn't sound like he's got good
It doesn't have a
business
good head
sense.
for that.
Well, people keep giving him dough, so I don't know.
Well, thank you for that report, Dan.
Sure, it's best I can do, John.
That was good enough for me.
Promise to raise the bar someday.
Mr. Dan Farris with our entertainment news of the day on Sunny 93.3.